Hey, what's up everyone? Today I'm going to show you how to build an awesome home gym and why I made some very specific choices for this one. Check it out.
Weightlifting is an important part of my daily routine, and so I want a home gym that fulfills certain practical criteria. Let's go ahead and put this all together, and I'll walk you through my thought process.
So I built my gym in what would otherwise be my garage, and it's about 24 square meters, although semicircular would be a more apt description of the room. This house is designed by Paul Ross, who is known for interesting geometries. So I spent 2 solid afternoons cutting up the floor and putting everything in place. The platform was pre-cut by Raze strength and is about 98 by 244 centimeters. I used pieces of cardboard as a template for the round wall, but I actually spent most of my time shaping the little ramps that went in the doorway because I wanted them to look flawless. All in all, it was very fun to set it up myself.
All right, this is how it turned out. I'm actually super happy with it, and I'm pretty excited about training in this gym every day, so I guess I achieved my goal. There's quite a lot to think about that wasn't immediately apparent when I started, so I'm gonna walk you through it now, starting with the floor. So I opted for some premium tiles as opposed to going for horse stall mats or getting some cheap tiles, and there's a pretty big difference. These tiles are made by a company called SofSurfaces, and they make gym tiles, playground tiles, and all sorts of stuff. And with respect to the first goal that I had of protecting the floor and reducing sound, these ones come with these stanchions, or sort of cylinder-like things that let the tile compress, because really it's the amount of compression that allows the weight to slow down over a longer distance and protect your floor. But also, they're sort of made in such a way that they don't get destroyed, which is why they have a 10-year warranty. That's important for me. And then also, you know, there's a difference between the smack of a weight that gets dropped and the sort of bass that reverberates through the house. And something like this is gonna remove that bass sound. All right, so there's actually quite a lot that I didn't think about when I started this when it comes to rubber itself. These tiles in particular are made out of truck tire rubber, which is a lot higher quality. And that's important because it doesn't let out gas. It's the kind of gas that really smells a lot. You don't want to get into the gym and feel nauseous because you have a really strong rubber smell. Another thing is that this tile has a EDM layer on top, and that is important because the goal is not necessarily only to protect the floor, but you want to be able to wash it, you want it to be fire safe, you want to be able to use oils or cleaning detergents and keep it hygienic and that kind of thing. And this is sort of an insider info kind of thing, but the speed at which you press the tiles and cure them temperature-wise affects how durable they are. So if you press them really fast, they'll shrink after about a year and start cracking and that kind of thing. So high quality tiles will last you many, many years, the kind of tiles that you would want to have in a playground or a commercial gym. So in all, I'm really happy with the finish and that these tiles are going to protect my floor. And so I think I have something that works here where I can both drive on it with a car and have a really good workout, good finish, and blah, blah. One thing I had underestimated was the amount of work required to actually cut these tiles. It's not necessarily that it's overly complicated, but it is fairly physically intense. You know, my hands got super worn out. It does help to have good tools though, and it's not really complicated. So, you know, if you want to cut this edge off, you know, you do a couple of pulls like this, and as you can see, this sharp knife just cuts straight through the rubber. And you know, you got to keep at it, be patient so that you don't hurt yourself, and that's basically it. And the really cool thing about it is you can get these really nice fits along the edges of the door. And you know, this is the kind of stuff that family members will appreciate, where the edge of the gym looks really nice, you get a good fit, and it's easy to clean. All right, well, the thing about the rack is that, like everything, you'll see these world-class lifters being in a dark dungeon with the cheapest rack ever, squatting 300 kilos. But you can do that, or you can afford yourself something that feels a bit safe, and although it's not necessary, it can make life a lot more enjoyable. So I opted for a squat rack that would let me do pull-ups, but more importantly, the difference between this squat rack and cheaper ones has to do with the quality of the welds. So this squat rack is rated for gym use, which means that these joints are not gonna break, they're not gonna release. I can be pretty tough on it, I can throw the weights on it, and I don't have to worry that anything's gonna bend or that I'm gonna get hurt, because I'm gonna be lifting here by myself most of the time. So, you know, I have these extra braces, so I can go ahead and do heavy squats, and if I don't make it, I can just sit down. And that's basically it for the squat rack. It's not really a complicated piece of equipment, but I do think that if you're choosing between going for a name brand and something that is a bit more rugged, go for the rugged one. All right, Eleiko doesn't really need an introduction, but it's worth mentioning. Again, if you're looking at buying a set of weights, the difference between something like Eleiko and cheaper brands that you'll find online is durability and feel. So with regards to the durability, it'll mean that you can count on your weights actually keeping their weight and that the rubber won't be peeling off after a couple years or cracking. When it comes to the bar, again, that the spin on the bar is gonna stay the same year over year, and that it's gonna be easier to maintain. So the last thing with regard to the feel of the bar has to do with when you're going heavy, it's gonna give you a whip that's really satisfying. All right, so I chose to get mostly premium stuff here, and you obviously don't have to, but it's gonna make it a lot more enjoyable to be in your gym. Your family's gonna wanna be here, and it makes it so that it's all a lot more durable. So with that being said, I'll include links to all the stuff I got in the description. If you have any questions, ask them down below, and I'll see you in the next video.